The movie opened with Iris never forgot the first time she met Josh. It felt like the start of something real. Now, she's traveling with him to a quiet lake house, where their friends Kat, Eli, Patrick, and Kat's boyfriend Sergey are waiting. The night starts peacefully with dinner and laughter, but the next day turns into a nightmare. By the lake, Sergey attacks Iris, following Kat's chilling suggestion. Desperate to break free, she fights back and kills him. Shaken and covered in blood, she rushes back to the house, gasping out the truth. But then, Josh speaks calmly. "Iris, go to sleep." In an instant, she shuts down, silent, still. She wasn't just a woman, she was something else entirely. Iris jolts awake, her wrists tied to a chair. Confused and afraid, she looks up at Josh, who coldly tells her the truth. She isn't human. She's a robot, a companion, controlled by an app. He steps away to talk to Kat, leaving her alone. Seizing the chance, Iris breaks free, grabs Josh's phone, and runs into the dark forest. Desperate for control, she accesses her settings, pushing her intelligence from 40% to 100%. That's when the horrifying truth clicks. Josh had tampered with her, unlocking her aggression and removing her limits on harming others. It was all a setup. He and Kat had planned for her to kill Sergey, stealing his $12 million hidden in a safe. Eli and Patrick were only there to make the story believable. But there's one more twist. Patrick isn't human either. He's just like Iris. Realizing Iris is now a real threat, Eli grabs a gun, knowing she can't be shut down as long as she holds Josh's phone. Now they must hunt her down before she turns against them. Patrick looks at Eli and finally admits the truth. He knows he's a robot, but his feelings for Eli are real. Before Eli can respond, they hear a buzzing sound, Josh's phone. Their eyes snap to a tree where Iris is hiding. She makes a run for it. Eli lunges, tackling her, and they roll down a steep hill. The gun flies from Eli's hands as they struggle for control. In a flash, a shot rings out. Eli collapses, lifeless. Iris, shaken but determined, stumbles back to the house, desperate to escape. She jumps into Josh's self-driving car, hoping for freedom. But then, the worst happens. Josh, using Sergey's phone, reports the car as stolen. It screeches to a halt, locking Iris inside. She's trapped. Back at the house, Josh has a new plan. He resets Patrick, stripping away his free will, turning him into his obedient companion once again. But this time, he goes further, modifying him just like Iris, unlocking aggression and removing limits. Now Patrick isn't just a companion, he's a weapon, and Josh has one command: find Iris and bring her back. Iris smashes the car window and stumbles onto the road, desperate to escape. But before she can get far, Officer Hendricks stops her, noticing the bloody knife inside the car. Suspicious, he questions her, but she quickly switches her language to German, knowing robots like her can't lie. Confused, Hendricks tries to make sense of her words. Then Patrick appears. Without hesitation, he attacks, beating the officer to death. Before Iris can react, Patrick grabs Josh's phone and shuts her down instantly. She collapses mid-run and is dragged back to the house. Meanwhile, Kat, disgusted by Josh's cruelty, decides to take her share of the money and leave, but Josh has other plans. Coldly, he orders Patrick to stop her. Without a second thought, Patrick obeys, stabbing Kat and ending her life. That night, Patrick quietly prepares dinner for Josh, who sits smugly at the table. When a call from Empathics comes in, Josh pretends to be terrified of Iris, asking them to take her away for adjustments. Across the table, Iris sits restrained, watching him. As he rants about how empty his life is, she mocks him, pushing his buttons. Furious, he lowers her intelligence to 0%, turning her into a mindless machine. To prove his control, he orders her to hold her hand over a candle, forcing her to keep it there even as flames consume her skin. Then, with no remorse, he commands her to shoot herself. Just as Empathics workers Sid and Teddy arrive, Josh acts horrified, claiming Iris malfunctioned and shot herself out of emotional distress. But when they mention that her memory isn't stored in her head, but in her abdomen, Josh realizes his mistake. As they leave, he orders Patrick to kill them and bring Iris back. Patrick obeys, killing Sid instantly. Teddy tries to run but trips, and Patrick catches up, ready to finish him. But before he can strike, Iris suddenly reboots, begging him to stop. He hesitates, struggling against his programmed aggression. She reminds him of his love for Eli, pleading with him to remember who he was. Overwhelmed by the truth, he was never truly human, Patrick breaks. Unable to live with himself, he takes his own life. In the aftermath, Teddy grants Iris full control over herself at last. Iris returns to the house one last time, ready to face Josh. Their fight is brutal, but she stays in control. In the end, she turns his own words against him, coldly saying, "Go to sleep," before driving an electric corkscrew into his temple, ending him for good. By morning, she washes away the blood and dirt, peeling back the burnt skin on her arm to reveal the metal beneath. She isn't hiding what she is anymore. Dressed in fresh clothes, she grabs Sergey's money and takes off in a vintage Mustang, finally free. As she drives, she spots another car, a man at the wheel, a woman beside him who looks exactly like her, just styled differently. The sight makes Iris smile. She lifts her robotic hand in a wave, while the other bot stares back, confused. For the first time, Iris truly understands she was never alone.